Civilized people need to follow rules. These are mine.
Freeze! Everybody down!
I don't steal from people who can't afford it. And I don't hurt people that don't deserve it. So relax.
I gotta say, Parker, you came as advertised, but I'm gonna need the whole score for this next thing.
We made a deal.
If you were me, what would you do with a guy like you?
I'd kill him while I had the chance.
So, Leon,
Yes?
co-host, tell Cyrus and I about this Parker chap.
Well,
Who wants to start?
I mean, this character, is created by writer Donald Westlake, writing under the name of Richard Stark.
Who's dead?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, but oddly, Donald Westlake is still alive.
The character is like a hard. He's a hard, cold-blooded, just thief. He
plays by a set of hard rules.
He's got a code.
In the movies.
I mean, are we talking about like we're watching the same character in the sense that he was played by Mel Gibson in the film Payback, which is also based on a Parker novel?
Yeah, there's been several movies based around this character. Point Blank with Lee Marvin.
Yeah.
But everybody knows Payback with Mel Gibson. Jason Statham is basically that character, except he's British this time.
Except he's Jason Statham. Yeah.
But it's one of these things where, I don't know, like the whole thing, like when Payback, that Parker's all about, look, I got my set of rules. You owe me $200. You didn't pay me. I'm just going to come after you relentlessly until I get my $200. I don't care about nothing else. Hey, man, here's a suitcase with $50,000. God damn it. I ain't saying I want $50,000. I want my $200.
Yeah.
And if you don't give it to him, he's going to go after you. And he's going to teach you a lesson why there are rules.
His first film, Better Off Dead, where he played the bike guy.
Those were the wonder years of Parker. The funny thing is, like the Parker in the novels, that's not really a part of him. That's something that they kind of made up for Payback, and it worked. If you've never seen Parker before, like, oh, that's a cool thing because.
Okay, so what about this British ass Parker, right?
The thing about the British ass Parker is they're kind of picking up more from Mel Gibson's version than they are from the actual novels. But it does open where he's with a crew. They're pulling a job. Wendell Pierce. What's his name? Michael Chiklis. Clifton Collins Jr. and some other young fuck up guy who I've never seen before, but like this is the guy.
When like everybody here is a star except that guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the one to fuck everything up.
He's either gonna be dead or fuck up something. Yeah.
Or both.
And it's
and it's one of those where like they pull a job at a carnival in Ohio at a state fair, and they get this guy like one thing to do. Like, look, we're gonna do all the heavy work. All you gotta do is set this one bale of hay on fire. You do that, we'll get out of here. We got our money. Everything's clean. Of course. You can't do that right. Screws everything up, but they still pull the job off. But the thing is, they're coming away from the job, and Michael Chiklis is like, man, this worked out great, Parker. You were everything I was told. Nick Nolte told me you were going to be. You know what?
That's right.
I tell you what, you're so good. I'm going to cut you in on this next thing we're going to do. And Parker's like, yeah, what's that? I say, look, we're going to take this money we just got here, and we're going to invest in this other thing. It's going to be a huge score. We all going to make 5 times as much as this.
Well, if I can just stop you right here. I think where they first fucked up is trying to rob a carnival. Ain't no money in no carnival. What they trying to get corn dogs?
I know, and that's the thing about
we gonna get all the cotton candy we need.
I'm gonna get some roasted corn, motherfucker.
And that's the thing about the heist where you're like, okay, why is he hanging out with these nickel and dime idiots? But that's the thing. Like they try to get him involved in this next heist that involves a bunch of like expensive ass jewels. And for some reason, he's like, look, man, no thanks. I'm not interested. And they're like, oh, really? You're not? So they try to kill his ass.
Yeah, but Michael Chiklis is like, well, see, the plan was I need your share of money. So either you can say yes, or we could just kill you and take it.
And take your corn dogs.
Parker's like, I only kill carnies.
Now he's surrounded in an SUV with 4 guys, at least one's driving, but 3 guys who's got guns on him, and he's still like, sorry, that wasn't the deal. I want my $200,000, and you boys going about your business.
200,000 from a carnival?
Yeah. They must have robbed Disney World or something.
I know. You look at this carnival and you're like, where did all this money come from again?
In every Parker
Explain to
novel,
me.
there's always an inside man who knows.
Man, that
the right
tilt a
thing.
wheel is awesome.
I know.
And they're also charging $150 a ticket.
Hey, co-host, we got your clown ransom. You want to see him live again?
Oh, yeah.
You better give me another corn dog.
Hey, there were a lot of kids at that goddamn water balloon thing.
Hey, if I don't get him back soon, I'm gonna mail you a red nose. Then you're gonna get a rainbow afro wig after that.
Look, I'll just take my pink elephant and go home. All
You're
right.
gonna get a big shoe after that. But I'm sorry. But so it sounds like here, like one of the things I liked about Payback, and this is what it sounds like this is doing here, is that this is a guy that it doesn't matter what little bit of money is there, doesn't matter how large sum of money, it doesn't matter the dangers that's there. He's already got something. He's got a one-track mind. He's like this. I was in it for this, and that's what I'm going for.
And that's all he's going
it.
for. Yeah, and that's all he's going for. But, okay, now, I know we've been talking a lot about Payback, but let me remind you guys, this is not Payback.
Yes.
It's not even as cool as Mel Gibson's portrayal as that character. With this movie, though, it's like, yeah, he gets screwed over. So his entire mission now for the rest of the movie is to go after the guys who screwed him over. And not only going after them, but going to the top to remind them, hey, when you hire somebody for a job, you don't fuck them over. And I'm going to remind you why.
That's not nice.
Yeah. Which is hilarious because he is the nicest fucking guy. They're doing a heist, and this guy's like hyperventilating. Go crazy. He said, hey, buddy. Relax, pal. It's going to be all right. Tell me about your life. Tell me about your wife and kids. What's going on?
And he's got that Jason Statham voice. Hey, tell me about your life. Tell me about your mom. Hey, it's okay. How's your family?
Have you been watching Manchester United?
Have you seen all my movies?
Yeah. Have some more kettle corn. You'll be fine.
It is one of those things where, this is directed and produced by Taylor Hackford, which I don't even know if he wrote it or not.
Yeah.
That's the guy that he did Ray
and the Devil's
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what?
Hey, he did something that you really love, Leon.
He did the Devil's Advocate.
No, he did. You love something better than that. He did the Lionel Richie collection. This is what it says right here. The Lionel Richie. He directed the Lionel Richie collection. Don't act like you don't know. You don't have that at home.
That is.
Oh, you playing now?
Is that an actual record or some music videos?
Leon, last week we were just singing "Say You, Say Me," say it together, and now today you act like you don't know that moment.
Shower.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a movie within itself. There you go. How about we have the guy from Ray direct that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but he did this.
He didn't write it though. By the way, he did not write it.
Yeah, I didn't think he wrote it, but it did seem like I got the impression like he got the Parker property and he was excited about it. And this honestly from what I saw from the trailer, I was expecting a straight up Jason Statham movie, and it's more like a Parker movie than I expected. Because I mean, with the whole setup of the heist, the way the story plays out, and it's based on like the 19th novel of the Parker novels. But as co-host brings up, the one big place where he drops the ball is that it's the whole thing of like, yeah, but we got to make him like nice or lovable. Like he cares. He cares about his girlfriend, or he doesn't want innocent people hurt. That's not Parker at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's
Parker
not Parker. That's not even Porter.
That's like Porter.
You've given me a book, The Outfit.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now you read that. Now you know that
I did.
Parker, he don't really care about women except to get a fuck ever so often.
Yeah.
He don't care who gets shot or killed.
He's an asshole.
He is. He's an asshole. He's like, I'm going to do the job. I'm not going to fuck over anybody. I'm going to do this part.
So for this movie, they tried to make him too nice so the audience wouldn't be too
Yes.
repelled.
Oh yeah. But another thing that this movie really fucks up with is introducing J-Lo's character, which at the beginning, like, she's not even in the
Jennifer
first, like,
Lopez?
Yes.
Jennifer Lopez is
She's
in
back?
this fucking movie. She's back. Her gorgeous ass is back. But yeah, she's in this movie, yet every scene of hers starts out like a bad romantic comedy. It's her slumming it at home with her mom because she got screwed over in some divorce. She's trying to look for a man, anybody, and somehow, through Parker trying to get revenge on these guys, he's using her because she's a real estate agent. She's using her to get information.
Here's the deal. Don't ask me any questions because I'm only going to tell you what I want to tell you. The man who calls himself Rodrigo took something from me. He's in business with 3 other men. They're here for a robbery and they're going to use their house to lay low when they're done.
So, you let them steal something. You steal it from them. I help you. And I get a commission.
But the thing is, her introduction in this movie is so sporadic that there's moments where when it goes back to her, you're like, oh, fuck, why is she in here again? And it doesn't get into halfway through the movie where they introduce each other, and then it becomes like a buddy comedy kind of heist movie.
I've heard she's kind of used for comic relief more than
it's
anything
all
else.
comic relief, because even her soundtrack, the score that you hear, turns into a goddamn it is just the worst, like, generic comedic score I can hear. Yeah.
How'd it go again?
Come on, man. Come on. You know what I'm trying to say.
I liked it, man.
Well, I'll produce that with the director. Well, yeah. But the thing is, it comes out of nowhere. But you know what? At least with her character, they give you just a gorgeous scene where she has to strip in front of Parker. And thank God, because that's the only time she's doing anything.
Is she actually doing nudity in this
She
movie?
does. No, she's not nude.
Okay,
but there's a moment where she just takes it off. And you see her,
down
see
to
her
her bra and
in
panties.
down to her bottom,
okay.
and they turn her around, and her fucking beautiful ass is parting the Red Sea.
See, that should have been in 3D.
Oh, it should have been.
That should have been IMAX.
Yeah, I
But
think,
instead of like backing my head up, I'd have been like,
exactly.
Leo would have been licking the screen.
sir, could you get down from there?
We were practically running up like it was like we were in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It's like, the Asberries taste like Asberries.
See, now I want to do a little contradiction here. I don't know if the contradiction is right, but it sounds like you two have different feelings about the movie, because one of the things that both of you are saying is that, and sorry, I'm sure you agree, because it sounds like they've taken the edge out of this character, and you don't seem to. I mean, you seem to not like that too much, but you don't, Leon, you don't seem to mind
because
that
they don't completely take the edge out. I mean, the thing is, throughout the first hour of it, I was kind of impressed by how much they left in, because the action is good and it's gritty, and he's got some one-liners. It's time. I mean, he is a tough dude. He's not somebody you would fuck with. He's not a marshmallow. It's just those times when they like show him caring. I was like, all right, I see why they're doing this. They just shouldn't. That's not what this character is.
Run out in front of a gunfight to save a kitten or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that much. And like the whole thing with like the shootout in the car, but they leave him for dead. It's pretty gritty. And there's just little things that he does that were like that kind of action movie funny. It's never on the level of Payback, but it gets close. I was like, all right, I know I'm not getting that, but I'm getting enough of what I like. Mm-hmm. But co-host couldn't be more right about when they bring Jennifer Lopez in. It's very much a like, this does not work at all. And it really, from as near as I can tell, like this could have been an hour-and-a-half movie, but it stretched out to 2 hours, because rather than having, her role was written for somebody that's like an ingenue, like some new young Hollywood actress you've never seen before, who could take this role and really turn it into something where you go like, wow, I really remember her. She was kind of zany, because her character is one that's like, she's like, oh, I'm near 40 and I'm kind of a loser and I can't find a good guy. And the whole time you look at it, it's like, sweetheart, I'm sorry. There's no way you can't find a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I know.
I can't buy
Oh, I thought you were
this
going to say, there's no way you're near 40. You were there and been there.
but besides that, her whole trying to play her life like, oh, my life sucks so much, I'm practically suicidal, so joining up with a criminal seems like, sure, why not? But the whole time, you can't buy it.
And there's no chemistry between her or Parker at all. The only good dialogue that's coming out of Parker's mouth whenever he's with her is basically him going, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. 'Cause, I mean, you want her to shut up. You don't want her to be any part of this story, because it's at the end of it all, her character is completely and utterly useless.
Pretty much.
They could have cut out everything and made this a bit tighter of a film.
Did
just
Jason
not having
Statham ever take his shirt off and get oiled up and beat him
No,
up?
you know what? No. When he does, he's bloody as hell. But I mean, yeah, if that's what
So
you're
he got
looking for,
oiled up
Corey,
with
I'm
blood.
sorry. At least you got that. Yeah,
It manages to like avoid all or most of the Jason Statham tropes. Yeah, it's not him trying to show off his muscles. He's not doing any kind of mixed martial arts. It's just straight up brawling, most of it. And it's brutal and it's bloody, and you feel it. You're like, God damn, that hurts. So
you do for the time that it's on the screen.
Yeah.
But then when they jump to something like Jennifer Lopez, you forget.
Well, it's that first hour, I thought it was moving at a really good clip, and I was like, man, I am digging this. But she comes on, and the momentum dies, and then it's back to whatever the story was, and then it's more of a like, well, let's get through this without too many shenanigans, and it sort of does it. But then at the end, and a lot of it is based around her character, like the whole idea, like I say, her ruining it, because getting somebody like Jennifer Lopez and not an unknown actress, they felt like well, we got to spend time with her and make her role bigger than it was. I haven't read the book, but I guarantee the way these books are written, that character was just had a small part. Probably somebody Parker met who realized could help him, and he not either seduced her or just she was intrigued with him. He got her to help her, and it was done and over with. Except they keep Jennifer Lopez's character around the entire time. It's just.
Well, can I bring up one more important thing? At least what kind of ruined this movie for me is the fact that they made Michael Chiklis and his team seem like the goddamn Three Stooges crew.
Well, that's every time you see Michael Chiklis, you think Three Stooges.
I know. Well, there's a great part where they're actually.
Well, he is Curly, isn't he?
He did play Curly, and that's what makes it worse because there's a scene where they actually dress up as like these guys who are about to they look like they're movers. Yeah, they look like painters or movers, and they're walking in. And it's like, hey, why do you want all this stuff? You know, and Michael Chiklis like, oh,
no, it was. I leaned over to close, and I was like, oh, you're the three men I sent for. Certainly, lady. Come on, you mugs. Let's move this stuff around.
Yeah, they're opening up a door. A butler actually answered the door, and I was like, oh my god, this is the Three Stooges right now.
All right, numbskull, set that hay bale on fire right there.
And you realize that these guys who are part of this heist are nothing but numbskulls because you see them like try to do this heist that, I mean, every moment you're like, just logic starts to play in your head. Like, why can nobody else see these guys sneak in this room? I mean, they're all, like, there's a crowd of people and they're like sneaking out in scuba gear, mind you. They got tanks. And these guys aren't thin. They're fat as hell. They're running around with these scuba gear. I mean, and in front of a party of people, and nobody notices.
Cops everywhere.
Cops are everywhere.
Cops
are in the water.
Like a goddamn comedy right here.
It is. It's sad.
I mean,
it's embarrassing.
I mean, not that there wasn't humor in some of the other Parker movies that were made, or movies based on his character, but I mean, this seems to be
unintentionally funny.
Yeah, it's going.
They even have to get away.
The light humor that doesn't fit in sort of a thriller like this. All right, so what do y'all give this then?
Well, like I said, I didn't dislike it like he did. I was actually enjoying it. I mean, a lot of it, you know, I give it credit for being better than I thought it was going to be because I thought it was going to be shit. And the first
how's that?
Shit.
I think you just got possessed by Pee Wee Herman.
I thought you were trying to do your naughty.
I thought you were singing that part. It was going to be shit.
Oh, you'd be like, how's this film? Oh, jeez.
Yeah. He does do that.
Oh, yeah.
He almost gets. It's like a toned down performance from Nick Nolte, which is surprising, but he's still, you know, he can't help it. Like,
I keep come on, Parker. Yeah. I was like, will somebody like go behind him, do the Heimlich maneuver so they can get that fucking cat smoking a cigar out of his throat?
Yeah, get that piece of meat that's been stuck in there for 20 years.
But usually when I see a movie like this, it's so late, I'm just like, man, let me just go ahead and get some old bullshit and go home. But I don't know. I was really enjoying it more than I thought I would for the first hour. And that second hour was just so full of missteps. You're like, man, you guys, you almost had it. I'm stuck right there between a low matinee and a high rental.
Oof. Wait a minute, no, you
got to pick one.
Okay, yeah,
why do you do this, man? After all this time, why do you think you can walk away from that?
That's why
nobody's gonna call you on that.
That's why we added like the low and high versions and stuff, so you don't have to pull that bullshit.
Choose wisely.
Split hairs like a motherfucker. There's nothing left.
One of these days, I'm gonna get through one of them.
No, you're not. Make a goddamn decision.
I know you don't want to be the bad guy, but please give it what it honestly deserves.
No, I'll give it a high rental.
Okay.
Because honestly, I did feel better about it, but the more we've been talking about it, I was like, he's got some points there.
I know, yeah, and I feel bad because you came in excited too. I liked it.
But I did enjoy it. And the thing is, I do not want to take away from the fact that I was enjoying it. But technically, you have to look at that second half and go like, yeah, there's some places where it just really fucked up. But it also did some cool stuff in there. There's some fights that still work. One that you know, you think you're not going to see anymore. It came out of nowhere. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it did, because it scared the living fuck out of you. Yeah, you jumped out of your goddamn seat. And I'm like, dude, you didn't see that coming? Come on, man. We've seen enough of these.
Yeah.
But I mean, with me at least, I mean, I was hoping, you know, if this is just another fucking Transporter 12, sure, I'll be fine. You know, Jason Statham, he loves wearing them suits and kicking ass. I'm down for that. And I was really hoping to get a lot of that and probably some story here, because I know it's based on a book. So when I know it's based on a series of novels based on a character, I'm assuming, okay, there's plenty of like, you know, for them to work with this character in the story. And it just seemed like it was the bare bones of almost like not even a good, like those teen fucking novels that they put out, because the dialogue was so at times just dumb. And Michael Chiklis was awful. He was awful as an actor in here. I was shocked at how bad he was playing this character. And Jennifer Lopez, I mean, her as is amazing, but I wish her acting could be just as amazing because she was also just terrible. And Jason Statham, I have to admit, he was fucking just sleepwalking through this thing. I mean, when the camera demanded him to kick some ass, he did it, and he did it in spades. But for the rest of the film, he just wanted to fucking go home and like take a nap, dude. I mean, he really did.
He's tired.
So
he's kicking a lot of ass in the movie.
He
He's
is.
tired,
Well, you know what? You have to kind of wait about 20 minutes between scenes for something like that to happen.
So what do you give it then?
But I'm gonna give it some bullshit. Like the more I think about it, the more I'm just like,
I
man.
can never go bullshit. There's plenty that was entertaining in the movie.
That's why he's him and you're you.
Yeah. I mean, because you know what? It was one of those things where the action scenes, the action scenes, they would be worth the rental. But I can't sit through this movie with fucking Jennifer
like that
Lopez.
deep shit I said right there.
Leon's never been clear on the whole he's not all of us.
Just so you know.
No,
I'm laughing because I've said that to you before, and I was like, "Oh, my words have come back to haunt me."
They will. They will.
Hey,
That was some nice judo you did.
I know.
there.
Hey, payback, a motherfucker.
Oh God, really?
Come on.
You went Cyrus route with that?
So go on, Cyrus. You can't say anything.
I never would have said that.
You didn't have to.
Yes,
I did.
right.
When I say I'll do something, I always follow through. Always.
How do you sleep at night?
I don't drink coffee after 7.